Alright, so here we are at the end of Allied movement on turn 15, which is the 1st of January. The Allies did opt to pull their units back a little bit. The elements of US 1st Armored kind of pulled into this column here, just to solidify our defenses here, hold these positions while we attempt to clear supply paths in the south here. So the French, with help from some British commandos, are going to attempt an attack on this defending stack here. It's a key hex as the rail line runs through and will flow down this way. So if we take that, it could be the key to further attacking Tunis and Bizerte here. What else has happened? Some reinforcements that we received this turn actually moved in near Kasserine. Kasserine's there, and we've got a headquarters and a few US units in there. Just planning on kind of building another base of operations in that area that allow us to maybe interfere with some of the German movement up the coast once they start getting units entering in from down here. As well as defending our flank, which somebody mentioned in regards to my playthrough, is that the way the Allies are set up, their flank is completely exposed, so when mobile units start coming in, the Allies would be in quite a bit of trouble. So we'll start with that. We'll kind of fan them out to defend some key roads, I think, and if we get brave, maybe try and block some lines along the coast here. But I think that's pretty much it for movement, and the only thing the Allies are going to do is attempt a barrage here, and then yeah, hopefully take that hex, and then we'll be freed up for next turn. So looks like they'll have a solid line once this turn's over, though. Alright, so we'll get on with some barrages and see what happens. Alright, so here we are after Allied exploitation. They succeeded in attacking that hex here and killed one unit. The other unit was killed because it was forced to retreat through an enemy zone of control. Then we released some reserves here, which was just an infantry and a couple artillery to hold onto the village hex on the other side of the river, just kind of strengthen up our positions here. And yeah, that's pretty much the situation we find ourselves in. Yeah, so I think I might have missed a couple of barrages actually that I wanted to do, so I might go around and check and see. Just barrages in an attempt to slow the Germans down again. I kind of was just focusing on here, so we'll go take a look and then I will start the German turn. Quick update on those barrages I missed. I did barrage elements of 10th Panzer here and some strong forces here in the north as well. Alright, now to get started with the German turn. Alright, so here's the situation after German movement. I've also done the German barrage phase as well. So the Germans kind of moved up a few forces along these river lines, met the Allies at the village they just captured on their phase of the turn. Nothing special. DG'd a couple of these armored stacks here, and the Allies responded by releasing some artillery, which moved up and DG'd this stack here. They saw an AR-5 unit on the top. It may have been across the river, but they were a little concerned about losing that airfield. So successfully DG'd there. The Allies have just kind of, the Axis have just spread out their forces to prevent the Allies from just slipping through these cracks. Looks decent, not a lot of depth to our defenses here. Tunis actually just received a bunch of reinforcements. Bizerte got some Italian reinforcements this turn as well. They started off map, but we have a CCAP of 5 for January, which is just crazy, so I was able to bring on a ton of reinforcements as well as some supply this turn. So I'm not going to do any attacks, so we will just roll for weather for turn 16 and see what happens. And it will be a mud turn. Alright, so what it is for the 5th of January. Alright, so we'll finish up this mud turn and then come and do weather roll and the initiative roll for the 8th of January. Alright, so here we are at the end of the mud turn. One note actually is that Germans have rolled a max table on their replacement rolls the last 2 turns. So, actually, I missed one here. I just rebuilt a tank battalion, and we'll be able to rebuild another one, plus a infantry regiment in the next German turn. So they're getting some really strong action rating 5 units back in, and with the reinforcements they're getting in Bizerte and Tunis, really starting to build this army back up. It's going to be a lot tougher for the Allies now. Really, they missed their opportunity to get to Tunis and take it. I should have identified this trace supply source, or this trace supply line earlier as the Allies, and really pressed hard for Tunis or Bizerte. But I think the Allies might be getting pushed back shortly with just the amount of force the Germans are going to be able to put on these units. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty, I don't think. Alright, so we will roll for weather now. And it's another mud turn. Okay, so slowing the game down a bit. So we'll have mud on the 8th, and chance for the Germans to bring in some more stuff off map here. Just trucks and organic trucks off map right now, but hey, the Germans are happy to be able to build up some supplies, and as soon as this weather clears up, really mess some stuff up for the Allies, hopefully. Alrighty, so one more mud turn, here we go. Alright, so another mud turn completed. Nothing to speak of, really. I thought I'd show off, though, kind of what the Germans have received just in reinforcements and replacements the last 2 turns, though. Or a few turns, I guess, might be 3 or so. But this massive stack here of units. So just in reinforcements and replacements, there's a few in Bizerte as well, some battalions that aren't quite as good, but like that's a fantastic force of units. Plus, this turn I brought in 5 trucks and organic truck points, all loaded with supply. So we're ready for a defensive, that's for damn sure. And we've got decent stockpiles as well, just supply on the ground. I'd be shaking in my boots if I was the Allies right now. So, yeah, alright, well, let's zoom out here. We'll go for the weather roll again. It's about time I started getting some of these mud turns, because really, it was amazing that we missed having that many in December. So, and another one. So, that's 3 in a row now. Okay, so January 12th is mud as well then on turn 18. Alright, back again for another weather roll. It's going to be a pretty dull video if it keeps going like this. Alright, so here we go for weather. 45. And that is going to be another mud turn. So, yep, this is real interesting, folks. Just a huge Cold War of supply here. Who can bring in more supply? And the Germans seem to be winning this war, so okay, here we go again. Alright, another mud turn down. The Axis received a huge amount of air reinforcements this turn. They got 2 more Stukas, a Junkers 88, and Messerschmitt 110, as well as 3 Italian fighters. So they're in a strong position in the air as well as on the ground now. Really just funneling a ton of stuff into this area, the Axis are. So we're starting to get out some reinforcements trickling in way down in the south too. Well, one at the moment, but it's a start. Yep. Alright. Weather roll again. These supply dumps are getting ridiculous as well. It's just nuts. And we have mud again. Alright. Wow. Okay, back at her again. Okay, time for the initiative, or the weather roll for turn 21. Which will be January 22nd. We've really zoomed through January. And mud again. Jeez. Alright. Alright, so we've now had 6 straight turns of mud. So I thought I'd give a quick overview of how things are looking in terms of supply and replacement points and whatnot. So we could start here actually, where the Allies have amassed 5 packs replacements and 4 equipment replacements. So they would have been rebuilding already, but they need a headquarters present, and the nearest one is up there. So once they can start moving, they'll all funnel over there and be able to just rebuild a crap load of stuff. In terms of supply, there's just in Bonn there's 14 supply points. They've been funneling their excess supply over here to whatever the heck this is called, where we have 8 supply points. So that's a ton of supply. You want to talk about a lot of supply though, we've got nearly 30 supply points between Bizerte and Tunis. We've been able to just keep funneling it in because there's been no replacement or reinforcements coming into the Sicily box. So every turn we're bringing in 5 supply points on these mud turns. Pretty crazy. I also will take a look down way in the south here, where the Italians are starting to come in. We brought in a couple supply points here so we can get some fuel going once we can move. But here's some of these Italians that are all pretty terrible in terms of action rating and stuff. The quality troops are going to be following on shortly though. So this will kind of be the start, and then we'll be getting some good forces in quite soon. We'll take a look at the dead piles while we're over here too. So here's the Axis dead pile. Elements of 15th Panzer were added to the dead pile, so they're now eligible to be rebuilt, and there's more Panzer divisions getting added to this dead pile, as well as some are going to be coming on down here very shortly. And here we have the Allied dead pile. Look at all those aircraft, it's just insane. And a lot of infantry, and yeah. Alright, so I guess we can go do our weather roll here and hope for some movement maybe. It's going to be a real fist fight once we do get moving again. And we are going to have mud again. So back at her. One more mud turn. That can't be the can't be all of January in mud. I don't know. It's been really crazy. So we're now 7 straight turns of mud. Alright. So that puts us to the 26th of January and mud again. Okay, time to roll for weather for the last turn of January. The only non-mud turn in January was the first turn of the month. So we'll see if we can get another clear weather turn here. And we do not. So mud will be through the entirety of January except for the very first turn. Alright, so more reinforcements, more supply. Here we go. Alright, we are now coming into February 1st, and we're out of the wet season, so we should avoid another mud turn here. After, I think it was 8 in a row, we'll roll now and hopefully be done with it. And we are. Alright, so before we get started with February 1st, which I think will be in my next video, I'll just kind of show a few things that happened on the last turn. The Axis rebuilt, I'll zoom in, this guy right here, which is one of the best units they have. It's Panzer Grenadier of 21st Panzer, so a 10.58. That's a fantastic unit. It was expensive to rebuild, but I mean that could do some damage in it of itself. So the Allies also got the Desert Air Force entering the game on this turn. So they are based in the Tripoli box and are stuck there until 8th Army enters the game. So basically they're just supporting the 8th Army's advance following these troops here, which, take a look here, this has got 3 stacks, 2 Italian stacked and a German stack of reinforcements that are going to be able to move now in the coming movement phase. The Allies also have their fair share of reinforcements ready to come in here. So some good mobile stuff, so we're going to need to build something along the flank here, or else we're going to get completely destroyed as the Allies. Alright, so now we will roll for initiative for the first time in a month. And the Germans will win initiative, and they will definitely go first. Alright, so damn, this is exciting as all hell now. I can't wait to keep playing. So it's just going to be a slugfest by the looks of it, with just all the forces we've had enter the game now, and the huge supply buildup. So it should be a really exciting next few turns, or next few months, I guess, in the game. We're going to have, in February, we'll have 8th Army start to roll to see when they enter. I think that starts on February 15th, and soon enough we'll be past the chance for an automatic victory for the capture of Tunis and Bizerte. I'll check when that was. Yeah, so on or before the 15th of February. So the Allies are not going to get that sudden death victory, even though I was a little worried they were going to for a little while there. They will not have a chance at it. Alright, this is going to be awesome next few months. Hope you guys like this. Well, I mean, it's a lot of mud. I don't really know how you could be that interested in it, but it's going to be from here on. So hang in there, everybody. It's going to get good.